Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Woman podcast. I'm Amira Alvarez. I am the founder and CEO of the Unstoppable Woman, and I'm super excited that you're here with us today. Today, we are in part 3 of our 4-part series on the female entrepreneur's method for rapidly scaling your business. In this part of our series, in this episode, we are talking about the plans and the attitude that you need to actually be unstoppable, actually quantum leap your income, actually make what seems impossible possible for yourself. So please listen in and learn and let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any questions. Okay, rock it out, be unstoppable. So let's go back to our pretty little femme model here and take it a step further, okay? And let's talk about plans, okay? So it's not just about changing how you see yourself, your self-image, all of that. You need to have the right plans as well, because without the right plan, you're going to be going in a bunch of different circles. Right? You're going to be circling. And instead, we need to have a business model that works for you in your business. Okay? You have to have a business model that actually works. Okay? If you don't have a business model that works, you won't be able to scale. You won't be able to increase your revenue. So we have to really make sure that the math actually works, okay? You have to have a plan for scaling. We have something called the scale plan, and it teaches you how to approach math, the math of your business, how to develop a business plan that will actually work for you. Now there's a bunch of detail that needs to go into it that is not included in the scale plan. But the scale plan itself teaches you how to claim your desire, look at the gap between where you are now and where you want to be, and do the math to get you there. And this is it's something that we have for free in our Facebook group. So if you're not in our free Facebook group, which is the Be Unstoppable group, the scale plan lives there, and you can go get a copy of it. It's in the resource section. And this is a full training. This is not like this little, I don't want you to think you're going to take it in 15 minutes. There's an audio training that goes with it that walks you through it. There's a worksheet that takes you through how to look at scaling. And then and the reason I mention it here is that we also have a spreadsheet that helps you plug in the numbers so that you know if something's going to work for you or not, and whether it's going to work for you in the amount of time that you have allocated for it. So this is a full program, if you will, called the scale plan. But what you need to know right now is that the math needs to work. This is like part of the masculine side of things. This is like, we need to do the math here. We need to make sure that your business plan actually works. Otherwise, you're going to be putting a lot of effort into something that isn't really the best use of your time. So we really need to do that. Okay. The next thing that you have to do is you have to be accountable to your actual plan, okay? If you're not accountable, you won't break through. This has to do with this action over here, okay? You have to be accountable to your action steps, and you want 30, 60, and 90-day goals with action steps associated with them. You have to have all of them mapped out. You need your long-term plan mapped out. That's your business model. And you need your 30, 60, 90-day goals mapped out. And you need to stay accountable to them. If you're not accountable to them, you lose your self-trust, okay? And you lose your self-worth because you are saying things like, I am going to do X, Y, and Z by PDQ, but you don't keep your commitment. And when you don't keep your commitment and you don't keep your word over and over again, you start losing self-trust, and then you lower your self-worth. And what does that do? Law of compensation. It makes you feel lesser than about yourself. You won't be able to own yourself. So you won't show up in the world powerfully, because you will say to yourself, oh, look, I'm not doing it. Who am I to do it? I'm unworthy of this. Because you haven't kept yourself accountable and kept your commitments, you will start seeing yourself and believing that you're lesser than, which is not true. Except it's not true on a spiritual level, okay? It's not the truth about who you are. It's how you're showing up on an action level, and that's not okay. You need to be accountable to your higher level goals, or you will never break through, okay? You have to. And these things are really interrelated, guys, okay? Because if you have a plan, but you don't have the beliefs or self-image to go with it, you won't execute on it, and you'll lose your trust in yourself, and you'll lose your self-worth. And it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? So it's gonna go like this, okay? You'll just keep playing at the same level over and over again, okay? But you wanna be going up. It's not a straight line, okay? It's a curvy line like this. If you don't change your beliefs, you won't take different action, okay? You'll just keep doing the same level, okay? You need to change your beliefs so that you start taking different action. So when you start doing this and you start executing on your 30, 60, 90-day goals, and these are actionable steps, okay? Then you start really believing in yourself, and the momentum starts, and you can start quantum leaping. So we have right goals, right beliefs, right plan. Next up, we have right attitude. And the first thing that you need to know about right attitude is that you have to learn how to make the right kinds of decisions. And this is so challenging for people, okay? Because why? Because you're afraid to make a mistake. Because when you were growing up, you thought making a mistake was going to cause you to lose love, safety, or belonging. And you didn't want to lose that, because that's where all your security and your survival came from. So let me break that down. Let me give you a few examples here. So if you think that when you invest in a contractor and they're supposed to get something done and they don't get it done, that you've made a bad decision and you lose trust in yourself, and then you never invest in hiring contractors again to help you do things in your business, that is building in a belief. Okay, so decision and belief connect to each other. That's building in a belief that you make bad decisions, okay? But if you change your beliefs and think instead, building a business is about staying unstoppable, building a business is about not quitting, I need to make faster decisions. And when I make faster decisions, I fail faster, okay? And will grow larger, faster. So in other words, don't be afraid of making mistakes. If I make a decision, and I've learned how to make decisions quickly, so let's put that here. These are quick decisions, okay? And that close the gap on time. If I make a decision to hire someone in 3 hours, and it takes you 3 weeks to hire someone, and I find out in the first 3 days of working with someone that they're not a good fit, and I let them go, and then I hire someone again very quickly, I have now iterated and found a great person in half the amount of time that it took you to make that decision. Okay. If you're taking 3 months to do your business plan and I can do it in 4 hours with you in a VIP day, okay, how much quicker is that going to be? Okay. I can make very quick assessments because I've been at this for a while. You need to learn how to make faster and faster decisions. Okay. Most people are terrified of making decisions because if they make a mistake, they think they're wrong instead of thinking, oh, I'm in business. Now, do I want you to make a lot of mistakes? No, I want to shortcut that for you. I want to close the gap in time for you. But you cannot be afraid to make decisions because you need to learn how to be resilient. Okay. It's a big word to remember. You need to learn how to be resilient. Okay. And move forward. So being unstoppable and having the right attitude is one, you have to have the right attitude about making decisions. Okay. Decisions, you move your business forward by making decisions. Okay. Write that down. You move your business forward by making decisions. If you want to scale quickly and you're indecisive, you won't be scaling quickly. You're going to be stymied. If you're afraid to make a mistake, you're going to be stymied. You have to make decisions and make them quickly. Okay, you have to have a no excuse attitude. Okay, this is about doing whatever it takes to move forward and not saying, oh, that wasn't for me, or I can't do that, or I'll do that later, or I'll do that when I have time, or I'll do that when I have the certificate or more prepared. You have to take a no excuse attitude. So the next piece here in the model is trust. You have to learn how to trust yourself. Because if you're always thinking that you're doing something wrong, or that you don't have what it takes, or that you're not good enough, then you're going to always feel limited. This builds confidence. And that is such a big thing for women in business. If you don't have confidence, you won't go forward. And so I call this the key to the whole thing. This is the keystone, okay, is trust. You have to learn how to trust yourself. And when you put this whole thing together, you get resilience, you get confidence, you get certainty, and you get order. And you get to be the person who can do this on repeat. So then you achieve your first level goal, and then you're like, hey, that's great. Love that. And then you do it again because you know how to do it. It's an ordered universe. You've learned how it works. You know how to achieve your goals. You stay accountable to them. You know how to change your beliefs. You know how to reprogram your mind. You know how to claim that bigger desire. So you claim that bigger desire. You see yourself as that woman. You claim that new beliefs about yourself. You start holding yourself accountable at a higher level. You start making bigger decisions faster than you ever thought possible and starting to trust yourself. And then it's over and over again. And you just keep going up, up, and up. Is it a straight line? No. There were always little ups and downs, but fundamentally, they went up, and they went up faster than most people ever consider possible. We're talking about things that happen in the first 90 days, the first 6 months, the first year, the first 2 or 3 years. Okay. This can happen faster than you ever thought possible. Okay. And you start believing in yourself and stop believing that you can do it wrong. You have the confidence to know that you can do it right. There's no more in your head thinking that you're going to do it wrong. Okay. It's really important to surround yourself with the people who have done it already and can give you a little bit of guidance on this and call you out on your BS also. Okay. So fundamentally, I think you do need to be a little bit scared. Okay. I think you need a little bit of that feeling of like, can I do it? That's stretching me. It's a little bit of not chaos. I don't want to say chaos, but that like you're not sure if you have the time or the ability or any of that. You need to be on that edge, okay? Because otherwise, like we said at the beginning, it's a sideways goal, okay? It becomes, even if you've stretched yourself and you've claimed this bigger goal on the daily, right? On the weekly, on your 30, 60, 90-day goals, you actually need to be stretching yourself. It needs to feel a little bit impossible. And most people want certainty more than uncertainty. If you have too much certainty, you get bored and you start creating chaos. Okay. We don't want that. But you need to be okay with a little bit of uncertainty and start building that trust with yourself. So this is where figuring out the appropriate 30, 60, 90-day goals that stretch yourself. Okay. So let's say you have a goal of, let's say you want to make 20K this month. And that's a stretch goal because you've only made, let's say 13. Okay. And so you would need to you set that stretch goal. It's still within reason. You can believe that you're going to do it. You believe that it's possible. It's not outside of your realm of possibility, but it's still a stretch. Okay. Then you have to figure out what it is that you need to do to make that happen. Law of cause and effect. Okay. But if you say, I want to make $1 million this year, and you go from making, and let's say you're at 13K a month, and we know that to make $1 million, you need to be making 84,000 a month. Okay. And you go straight to making, like setting that as your goal, you're probably going to blow yourself out of the water. Your mind is probably going to be like, there's no way I can make that this month. I don't have the systems in place, but you can kind of believe that you could make 20K. You're like, I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but I think I could get there. You should want it badly enough, but wonder if you're going to be able to achieve it until you get to the place where you've done this enough and you know how the creative process works. You know how goal achievement works. You know that you always pick stretch goals. You always recognize that when you have a desire, the supply is ready to appear. Okay, so then you understand how to use the law of perpetual transmutation of energy to call in the ways and the means. And you trust that process because you've done it again and again and again and again. But in the beginning, it's like, how the hell am I going to do that? Because you don't have the experience yet.